Hello, good morning, all of you. And today I am discussing about the spiral model. Spiral model, it is initially proposed by this model, spiral model by Bohm. BO is an evaluationary software process model that couples the iterative features of prototyping with the controlled and systematic aspects of the linear sequential model, and it is also based on the waterfall model, and it implements the potential for the rapid development of new versions of software. And using the spiral model, the software is developed in a series of incremental releases, and during the early iterations the additional release may be paper model or prototype. During later iterations, more and more complete versions of engineering systems are produced. The spiral model is nothing but I am telling in a real time example. Suppose you're having a spider in so many spiders are having in old houses in okay, looking at spider getting some net design like spiral. That means the spider is jumping from one phase to another phase. Like this way, I am in the diagram of the spiral model. In this way, the approach, the spider is moving from one phase to the another phase. The spider is moving from cost to risk management to prototype, and design phase to code to integration, test, and implementations, release, and the next phase and the review phase, object identification. These are all done in this spiral model. As per the client requirement, the user, the developer, the software engineer is to be satisfied the client requirement, whether it is in testing side or coding side or designing side, whatever it may be, have to satisfy the client requirement, to fulfill the client requirements. Okay, as per the cost estimation also have to satisfy in design phase, and have to satisfy in coding. That means the application is to be work in a fast manner. Okay, in a brief, you have to explain each and every phase in a simple words, with the help of side headings, each and everything. Okay, these are all. The reverse engineering also is to be done in the spiral model. While you looking to the diagram, while you are revolving some circle shapes of the some net shapes also there now in this spiral model. The reverse engineering is to be done, because while you, if any phase is failed or any risk management is to be done in any phase, the reverse engineering is to be done and resolve those particular issues, and again the application is to be work in a good manner. That's why the client have to satisfy the client requirements to resolve the bugs in design phase or coding phase or in any testing phase, or as per the cost purpose also. Too much cost while you doing the application, too much time is to be required, this much of months to be done, 3 to 4 months are already completed, because I invested a lot of money to do the application. How much time is to be required to do the application? This type of questions are coming from the client side, and we have, as a software engineer, you have to clear the doubts of the customer client side, and have to satisfy the client requirements. Okay, I want to explain in a clear cut way. This is the diagram, and so many phases are there. I think the 4 phases in the cost, release phase, evaluation, product development, and the next phase planning and object identification. In between, in meanwhile, having the risk management and prototype design and code integration, testing and implementation. These are the in every phase. The waterfall model is to be carried in every model to resolve those issues. For the major projects, the spiral model is to be introduced. Okay, and coming to the objective settings, you have to identify the what type of object is to be required, what type of main goal of the application is doing the some online applications, e-commerce applications, have to do the sell the product to online, have to do the good application for the client requirement. Okay, have to identify the object which is not repeated, the best approach of doing application. In that way, have to identify the object. Each cycle in the spiral starts with the identification of the purpose for that cycle, the various alternatives that are possible for achieving the targets, and the constraints that exist. Okay, next one is the risk assessment and reduction. Risk assessment, what type of risk is there? Cost risk and testing. So only less member team are there to do the application, and we need so much of time to do the project. In that way, have to convey the client. Okay, suppose if you having a good manpower, to can within a span of time, within a 20 days or within a 1 month duration, you can easily complete the project. Suppose any bugs are came, that is risk. If already almost application is to be done, if any some database error or design error is to be there in the application, that is called the risk management, risk assessment and reduction. Okay, that type of error means repeatedly coming means you have to please clear the bug as per the client requirement. Okay, some risk managements also there as per the client requirements. We have to satisfy the client side. Okay, next one, the development and validation. Development means if any bug or error comes in the application, either it is a database error or design error, any functionality error, you have to resolve those particular error and to satisfy the client to run the application in a smooth manner. Okay, and to do the best validations. Suppose you have taking an example of a login page, the username means using the @yahoo.com, @gmail.com, that the keywords you have to mention in a predefined manner. And in that way, for the password protection also, you are using symbols, some 1 2 3 numbers, some caps lock, using uppercase and lowercase letters. In that way, having for the high level protection of the password. In that way, you have to write the validation. Some alert messages are to be displayed while you clicking the submit button without writing any username or password. While you clicking the submit button, the validation, the alert message is to be highlighted in the application. That type of validation is to be must and should be written in the application. Okay, next is the planning phase. The planning phase is finally the next step is planned. The project is reviewed and a choice made whether to continue with the further period of spiral. If it is determined to keep, plans are drawn up for the next step of the project. The development phase depends on the remaining risk. For example, if performs or user interface risks are treated more essential than the program development risk, the next phase may be an evaluationary development that includes developing a more detailed prototype for solving the risks. That means without proper planning, we can't do the application. Suppose having a proper plan, we can approach in a step-by-step manner to do to complete the application within a smooth manner with the best approach. With the best approach. Okay, that's why we have to do the application within a smooth manner. Without proper plan, we can't do the application. Okay, next, risk driven. While automatically for the major projects, as while you doing the SBI application or passport applications, automatically some difficulties are to be happened. because some major bugs and major issues also get in. You have to resolve those issues means you have to use this spiral model. And some risk driven techniques also we have to learn in this spiral model. Okay. Feature of spiral model also accommodate the any mixture of specification oriented, prototype and oriented, simulation oriented, any another type of approach. An essential element of model is that each period of spiral is completed by the review that includes all the product developed during the cycle, including plans for the next cycle. The spiral model works for the development as well as the enhancements projects. To suppose, as for I am taking the example of SBI application. Before CDMs are not there, cash deposited machines are not there. That CDM application program interface is to be injected already for the existing application. That means how it is to be happen. They used the spiral model to inject the CDM application, cash deposited machine application program interface, to inject the particular interface into the existing SBI State Bank application. Okay, this type of enhancement is to be done for the existing application to trace out the risk driven topics as per the customer satisfaction of the client requirement. Okay, the next one is when to use a spiral model. When deliverance is required to be frequent, when the project is large, when requirements are unclear and complete, when changes may require at any time, and large and high budget projects. Okay, it is used for the large projects, and if any unclear and complex issues, it requires more time to do the project. That's why it's a large project. Okay, next one. What is the advantages? What are the advantages? High amount of risk analysis and useful for the large and mission critical projects. Most probably it is useful for the critical projects only. This type of spiral model is useful for the critical projects. Okay, and high amount risk of analysis also is the major advantage. What are the disadvantages? Can be costly model to use. Risk analysis needly higher particular expertise, does not work well for smaller projects. This type of spiral model is not required for the mini projects, for the small scale industries. Okay, that's it. If you having any queries, and please contact me, and please subscribe my channel, Jai Sri Ram Education channel. And thank you my dear students.